While tourist destinations like abandoned jails and cemeteries seem ripe for scary encounters with the bizarre, there are also a lot of unassuming public monuments that hold dark secrets. From concealed chambers and cryptic codes to tragic backstories and unexplained incidents, these landmarks offer more than just charm or national symbolism. They whisper haunting tales few ever uncover, so join us as we unveil the 15 public monuments with scary secrets. Number 15. The Altar of the Fatherland. In Rome, near the Roman Forum, is the Altar of the Fatherland, aka the Vitoriano. This massive white marble structure honors Victor Emmanuel II, Italy's first king. Because of its shape, it's named the typewriter and wedding cake. It also includes the tomb of the unknown soldier, created to symbolize Italian unification. During Benito Mussolini's regime, the monument was used for fascist parades. Mussolini ordered the construction of the Via dei Fori Imperiali, a grand avenue to the monument that destroyed ancient ruins. The tomb was added in 1921 with the remains of an unidentified World War I soldier. 11 bodies were gathered from battlefields, and Maria Bergamas, whose son had died in the war, chose one. Some remains may not have been Italian. Underground, the Vitoriano holds sealed vaults, archives, and ceremonial chambers, many closed since the 1930s. The eternal flame has gone out multiple times due to technical failures. Its acoustics create eerie echoes. Much of it remains off-limits to visitors. Number 14. The Statue of Liberty. To many, the Statue of Liberty represents freedom, hope, and welcome. It stands 305 feet from base to torch and dominates New York Harbor. But you won't believe it. Beneath its iconic image lies a darker, lesser-known history that no one knows. We mean here are military bases, disease quarantines, and explosive damage. Before Liberty was built, the land was Bedloe's Island, once home to smallpox stations, executions, and military use. In 1885, the statue arrived in crates, designed by Frederick August Bartholdi with structural support by Gustav Eiffel. Early flaws became clear. The statue swayed in strong winds, and its iron framework creaked. The torch arm especially was unstable. Then, in 1916, a German sabotaged explosion at the nearby Black Tom Depot damaged Liberty severely. The blast warped the torch and dislodged metal beams. Since then, access to the torch has been forever closed. Even today, its stairway remains unsafe. The current torch is a 1980s replica. Beneath the oxidized copper skin, Liberty holds decades of damage, toxic residue, and sealed-off sections never meant for tourists. Number 13. The Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. Long before skyscrapers like Burj Khalifa and cathedrals like Duomo di Milano reshaped skylines, one structure stood unmatched in grandeur: the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, built around 350 BCE in what's now Bodrum, Turkey. It was more than a tomb. It fused Egyptian, Greek, and Anatolian styles into one towering edifice. The structure was commissioned by Artemisia II, both sister and wife to Mausolus, the Persian satrap of Caria. After his death, she vowed to create the most magnificent burial site ever built. Over 135 feet tall and adorned with more than 400 intricate statues, it earned a place among the Seven Wonders. But earthquakes from the 10th to 15th centuries fractured its columns and toppled its upper tiers. Crusaders later dismantled large sections to construct Bodrum Castle. In the 1980s, radar revealed sealed underground chambers, some unexplored. There is a one-chamber labeled Chamber X, which remains closed behind a massive stone slab. Today, a few propped columns remain. Quiet and weathered, the site speaks of obsession, decay, and the ruins of what once touched the sky. Number 12. The Washington Monument. The Washington Monument stands over 555 feet tall, ranking among the most recognizable obelisks on Earth. It's dedicated to George Washington, and it is the tallest stone monument in existence. Construction began in 1848 and concluded in 1884, delayed by funding shortages, the Civil War, and political disputes. Its capstone, made from aluminum, a rare metal at the time, was intended to function as a lightning rod. However, lightning still strikes the monument frequently, sometimes over a dozen times each year. The early protection system failed, resulting in internal scorch marks and stone cracks. Some visitors reported feeling static charges during storms. In one case, a lightning strike disrupted the elevator and caused a man to faint. Years of strikes led to crumbling mortar and electrical failures. Reinforcements were added, but lightning remains a problem. A 2011 earthquake caused cracks and dislodged panels. The capstone, engraved with Los Dio, is now inaccessible. Some believe Freemason symbols and time capsules lie buried beneath, though evidence is inconclusive. Number 11. The Eiffel Tower Secret Room. Millions admire it every year. The Eiffel Tower, France's most iconic monument, rises over Paris as a symbol of love and national pride. Standing 1,083 feet tall and built for the 1889 World's Fair, it embodies elegance and ambition. But few know that high above the city, hidden in its upper levels, sits a private apartment never intended for public access. Gustave Eiffel designed this secret space himself. For years it remained locked. He used it as a personal retreat to host select guests, including Thomas Edison, who visited in 1889 and gifted him a phonograph. Eiffel and Edison discussed science and the future of technology over 900 feet above ground. At the time, Parisian elites mocked the tower, calling it an eyesore. Eiffel building a personal hideaway above their heads was a statement. During World War II, the room's use remains unclear. It was rediscovered in the 1980s and remains preserved today, viewable only through a small window. Number 10. Mount Rushmore and the Hidden Hall of Records. Rushmore displays the carved faces of 4 U.S. presidents etched into the granite cliffs of South Dakota's Black Hills. Each sculpture stands over 60 feet tall, drawing more than 2 million visitors annually. Behind Abraham Lincoln's face lies a concealed chamber known as the Hall of Records. This room was envisioned by Gutzon Borglum, Mount Rushmore's chief sculptor, as a vault preserving key American documents like the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights. The hall was to be lined with bronze and marble panels and serve as a shrine. Excavation started in 1938, with workers digging a 70-foot vertical shaft and carving a 35-foot chamber. Work stopped in 1941 due to budget issues and World War II. Borglum died that year and his son Lincoln abandoned the effort. In 1998, a titanium time capsule was placed in the chamber. Today it's fenced off, monitored, and inaccessible. The site also remains controversial, built on sacred Lakota land seized in violation of the 1868 Fort Laramie Treaty. Number 9. The Great Sphinx of Giza and its sealed chambers. It's one of the world's oldest and most studied monuments, yet the Great Sphinx of Giza still guards secrets no one knows. Carved from a single limestone ridge on the edge of the Giza Plateau, the Sphinx stretches 240 feet long and stands 66 feet high. Its lion's body and human face have stared over Egypt for more than 4,500 years, possibly longer. But beneath its paws and inside the weathered rock lie sealed shafts and unknown cavities. Mainstream Egyptologists agree it was built during Pharaoh Khafre's reign around 2500 BCE. Yet as far back as the 1800s, explorers documented hidden chambers around it. In 1925, French engineer Émile Barrès found sealed doorways beneath the chest and rear. In the 1990s, geologist Robert Schoch proposed that the Sphinx showed rain erosion, possibly predating dynastic Egypt. Ground-penetrating radar confirmed voids beneath the monument, symmetrical, rectangular, and unexplored. Officials have blocked the excavation. Even now, beneath the Sphinx's gaze, rooms may sit untouched. Whatever they contain, Egypt isn't ready to reveal it. Number 8. Lincoln Memorial. The Lincoln Memorial, located at the western edge of the National Mall in D.C., showcases a neoclassical exterior and a 19-foot seated statue of Abraham Lincoln. Millions visit it annually. Yet beneath the memorial lies a network of hollow rooms and a Cold War surveillance history. Construction began in 1914, but due to the marshy terrain near the Potomac River, engineers had to install deep reinforced supports. They dug out massive areas and filled them with concrete piers, leaving behind a large subterranean area called the Undercroft. It features intersecting corridors, beams, support columns, and dirt floors. The public rarely sees this space. It has tall ceilings, unfinished walls, dangling lights, and old pipes. In the 1970s, workers discovered graffiti from the 1920s and 30s by original builders. The Undercroft also housed Cold War-era surveillance equipment, some of which remains. In 2017, plans were announced to open it with a glass walkway, but today it remains closed, echoing with a history few have seen. Number 7. The Motherland Calls. She towers over Volgograd, sword raised high, hair caught in a ghostly gust. The Motherland Calls was completed in 1967, and by any angle, this isn't just a sculpture, it's a declaration etched into the sky. At 279 feet from base to blade, it once held the record for the tallest statue in the world. But despite her size and grandeur, this figure conceals unsettling truths, from design flaws to a shifting foundation and even rumors of radioactive material. Erected on Mamayev Kurgan, a strategic ridge and graveyard from the Battle of Stalingrad, the statue looms over mass graves filled with tens of thousands of soldiers. Inside, steel cables, spiral stairs, and narrow maintenance corridors help keep the structure upright but require constant adjustment. In 2009, officials admitted the statue was tilting due to soil erosion. The original sword vibrated in the wind and was later replaced with a heavier erosion, adding strain to the arm. Stories of irradiated metal persist. Engineers warn it may not last another century. Number 6. The Juche Tower. Standing 560 feet above the Tadong River in Pyongyang, the Juche Tower faces the Grand People's Study House and the bronze statues of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. Built in 1982 to mark Kim Il-sung's 70th birthday, it represents Juche, the regime's official doctrine of self-reliance. From a distance, it resembles a simple obelisk built of 25,550 granite blocks, one for each day of Kim's life. Visitors see galleries of books, speeches, and curated artifacts, but half the floors are off-limits. Many corridors are unlit or blocked by guards. Rumors point to a sealed archive housing original Juche writings, possibly handwritten by Kim Il-sung himself. At night, the red flame atop the tower stays lit even during blackouts, suggesting it draws power from a protected grid. Cracks have formed on its base. Some claim salvaged materials were used during construction. Despite its polished exterior, the tower's upper levels are uninspected. Number 5. The Gateway Arch of St. Louis. Standing 630 feet over the Mississippi River, the Gateway Arch in St. Louis is America's tallest monument. Completed in 1965, its perfect stainless steel arch symbolizes the nation's westward expansion, but behind its graceful design lies a far more unsettling reality: tight interiors, malfunction-prone machinery, and a surreal elevator system. The arch hides a tram unlike any other. Due to its curve, traditional elevators wouldn't work. Engineers built a hybrid system, small white pods with 5 seats, rotating like Ferris wheel gondolas as they ascend. It works, but barely. The pods are cramped, windowless, and without emergency exits. The ride lasts 4 minutes and frequently triggers vertigo or claustrophobia. There's little ventilation, and during summer, the pods become suffocating. The observation deck atop the arch isn't much better: narrow, sloped, and often crowded. Wind causes the entire structure to sway, and on stormy days, it vibrates. Technicians maintain it from narrow catwalks. Elegant on the outside, the arch hides complex flaws within. Number 4. The Valley of the Fallen. Tucked into the mountains near Madrid, the Valley of the Fallen is one of modern Europe's most divisive memorials. Built to honor those killed during the Spanish Civil War, it also housed the tomb of dictator Francisco Franco for over 4 decades. The 500-foot granite cross, visible for miles, marks a site shaped by contradiction. Franco ordered its construction in 1940. Tens of thousands of political prisoners worked on it, many dying from cave-ins, infections, or exhaustion. Their names were never recorded. Only Francoist soldiers were memorialized for years. After his 1975 burial in the basilica, daily visitors left fascist flags and Nazi salutes. In 2019, Franco's body was exhumed and moved, igniting public fury, but the crypt below still holds more than 33,000 unidentified bodies, many misfiled or water-damaged. A room known only as the Z Room lies behind a sealed door, its purpose unknown. Today, the monument is heavily monitored, stripped of slogans, but it remains a wound Spain hasn't fully closed. Number 3. The monument to the Battle of Nations. Rising 299 feet above a grassy hill in Leipzig, this rare monument stands as one of Europe's heaviest and most somber structures. Built between 1898 and 1913, it commemorates the 1813 defeat of Napoleon by Allied armies. It looks less like a tribute and more like a fortress or tomb. Beneath its massive stone base are sealed crypts and bone-filled substructures. When workers broke ground, they unearthed mass graves from the four-day battle, where over 600,000 fought and nearly 90,000 died. Some remains were ceremonially reburied within the monument. The structure was built literally atop the dead. Inside the dome chamber, 16 colossal warrior statues watch silently. Below are winding stairs, echoing corridors, and a locked steel hatch reportedly used during World War II to store documents. The building constantly leaks, its walls sweat with moisture year-round. Mold grows unchecked. Guides whisper about voices, cold spots, and flickers of movement. This monument doesn't just honor the dead, it stands among them. Number 2. The Yad Vashem Memorial. In the hills west of Jerusalem, overlooking the Valley of the Communities, stands Yad Vashem, Israel's national Holocaust memorial. It's not a single monument, but a sprawling archive, museum, sculpture park, and education center built into the land. At its core is the Hall of Names, a conical chamber lined with photographs and testimony pages that seem endless. But behind this creepy structure lies a brutal truth. Not all the names were meant to be remembered. The hall holds over 4.8 million records submitted by survivors, relatives, and witnesses, including names and birthplaces, often with only fragments. Many names were entered multiple times under conflicting spellings, others remain incomplete, just child, mother, or unknown lady. Soviet archives sealed after the war still withhold transport lists and camp records. Some families refused to contribute, paralyzed by shame or trauma. Others lied or embellished. Inside the Righteous Among the Nations archive, several files are redacted, rescues motivated by money, not compassion. Yad Vashem preserves memory, but also reveals how much was lost. Number 1. Christ the Redeemer. Towering 98 feet on Corcovado Mountain above Rio de Janeiro, it is one of the world's most iconic statues, symbolizing peace and Brazilian identity. Visitors admire its height and location, but the statue's interior includes construction flaws, storm damage, and missing blueprints. The statue is hollow, containing staircases, platforms, and narrow tunnels. Inside are structural ribs, service areas, and access points in the shoulders and head, spaces only a few have entered. Designed by engineer Heitor da Silva Costa and sculpted by Paul Landowski, it was completed in 1931. Its mountaintop position exposes it to frequent storms. The internal framework uses reinforced concrete and soapstone tiles. A spiral staircase over 1,300 steps winds through it. Lightning hits the statue 3 to 5 times annually. One strike in 2014 broke off the thumb. Many original blueprints were lost, leaving engineers to work without references. Construction deaths went unrecorded. Some believe the statue is haunted. Inside, cracks run quietly behind its peaceful exterior. What do you think about it? Well, let us know. And we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you very soon.